All right. And I guess we are live here on YouTube for another week's edition of our weekly podcast, The Three Loose Lug Nuts. I'm here with,
Cleveland.
And high octane.
I don't know what's going on. I don't hear any audio.
I heard
Wait
Wait a
everything.
minute.
Yeah,
There we
there we
go.
go.
It was my end. I had the button turned off. My bad. I made myself look stupid.
He's already censoring me.
Yeah. Yeah. We may need that later on. No, I'm just kidding. No, we're back. This is episode 9. It seems like time's really flying by already with this deal. Can you guys believe we've been at this for 2 months now? Really, it flew by. But we're having a blast on here. I enjoyed it. You guys enjoy it, hopefully. But this week we are recapping the Bristol Dirt, and we got a lot of topics to talk about. Josh was there in person. Before we get started, though, I want to ask Octane, how did things go at the Speedrome this weekend?
It was entertaining. I got to take my first laps in what they call the adult fast carts. You guys probably seen the videos of the big wreck that happened in the one race. I got to take my first laps, ran some good times, and at the end tipped it on its side. So, it was entertaining. I really like it, and I will be racing there on the 30th for my first race. So I'm excited about
Nice.
that. And unfortunately, my wife, in her race got taken out in a first lap crash when turn 3 became a parking lot.
Oh wow!
So, but they got a new radiator in her car and some other things, so she'll be ready to go this Saturday for the 116 lap race. So,
Well, I got to make this known. Roger says he made it back alive, so we see that he didn't fall off the roof, and you can call him Catman. He was at the house earlier today calling himself Fat Man. So, he's just switching it up. No, Roger had to go rescue a cat off the roof from his aunt's house, guys. So hopefully he didn't fall. I guess he did. He made it back. So there we go. Thought you were a ladies' man, Roger. Here we go. We'll keep that down a little bit. What's up, Victor? Looks like Mike's making quesadillas. That's cool. All right, so that's awesome news, though, Octane. I really hope you do well, and then with your wife, that sucks too. But I know it's exciting. I had a little short career, so to speak, but it was fun while it lasted. And it's nothing like making laps, that's for sure. Just glad you're all right from that flip.
I was sitting on the inside. I was sitting on the inside. Of course, it's laying on its left side. I'm in there laughing about it. So, had zero phase on me whatsoever.
I wish whoever took the picture could have took a zoomed in picture of you inside of it.
Let me tell you about that picture. The picture that you probably seen on Facebook, Josh.
Yeah.
This is funny. My wife's grandpa took that picture not knowing that I was driving that car.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So
just basically took the picture because it was a cool shot because it was laying on its side. So
well, yeah, he posted on Facebook and he said,
Uh-oh.
We're left on a cliffhanger. We don't know what he said.
Well, I'm gonna share a link of my live reaction to the last lap of the Cup race. And I think everybody will really get a sense of how much I don't like Kyle Busch.
We all know that's a lie.
Well, and you'll get a sense of my pick getting taken out, and then you'll also get a sense of my reaction was mainly because I have responsibility of myself by every race win die cast of all the races that I attend. And now I got to buy Kyle Busch 124. I didn't put on pre-order yet, but it probably will be.
Hey, he's a closet fan, guys.
There is some foul language in it, just FYI.
Yeah, warning. Metal Mike's got it hit up right there with R-rated. To be continued for high octane.
Hey, I put the disclaimer at the very beginning of the title. So
Well, there was those people dancing around you. I guess they liked it, Kyle Busch winning, right?
no, I think they liked that Briscoe took Reddick out. They were jumping up and down for Briscoe the entire night.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't know the whole backlog
Metal
story
Mike,
there.
there was like nobody around me. There were not even kids. There was nobody around me at that point. There were 2 rain delays. I almost left after the first one thinking, okay, they're gonna call it. And then I didn't drink that night. My dad was having a few pops, and he's like, I'm good. I'm like, all right, well then we'll just hang out.
Yeah, there was like 20 people in your section, probably.
Probably.
I was going to ask. Go ahead.
Honestly, any sporting event that I've ever gone to, like ever, that probably was the most elbow room I've ever had.
I
No,
was just
it was
going to ask, did they deliberately have the crowd spread out that much, or was that just the way people were?
I don't know that I sat in my ticketed seat.
Mhm.
And me and my dad were basically the only 2 people in our entire row.
Wow.
So like we were spread out. Like, if you've probably been to back in '94, it was probably jam packed elbow to elbow
Oh, the
when
Brickyard.
you
Yeah,
were there.
yeah. Well, yeah. I went to the Bush race, and it was elbow to elbow. I've got some
Yeah.
pictures somewhere that I'll have to dig out, and it
And
was elbow to elbow.
I went to Brickyard in 2004, I think, or 5, or no, 2003 or 2. And it was jam packed. Like it was
Well,
crazy.
this all goes back to how NASCAR used to be. It was thriving. I mean, the mid 90s to the early 2000s. I mean, it's like me. I can remember going to Martinsville the same way. Cup cup race, and we used to sit in the family section on the back stretch. Now that's all advertisement area and stuff where they have those billboards placed up, and the whole track would fill up. So
Well, if you
Yeah,
remember Daytona used to have that big grandstand on the backstretch.
yep. Yep.
now
It makes you
Octane,
often want. It makes Bristol look stupid now with all those seats, and they can't
well,
even fill them.
that's kind of a question I have
Mhm.
because Octane was there back, at the begin. I would say during slash at the beginning of the like really big heyday of NASCAR. Were every aisle have benches or seats?
And you're talking at Bristol, right?
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, on the front stretch, the bottom half to 2/3 were like concrete steps. The seats were actually the concrete steps.
Okay.
And then
Because
when you got up, it was more of the bench style or the box style seating, maybe in the upper third to the upper quarter.
because it's aluminum seats, but it's like bench style.
Right.
But it's every other row has seats, and then one row is a walkway on every single one. And I was just curious that back in the day, if there were seats literally on every aisle versus every other aisle.
I actually went to Bristol in 1988, and the seating capacity then was about 30,000. I'll have to dig up some pictures and show you guys how Bristol looked, almost 40 years ago, 35 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was stark contrast night and day. But yeah, it was the best that I can remember. It was just like walking up concrete steps, and it was roomy, it was spacious. But when Bruton took it over, I think in the late '90s, they just decided, okay, we're going to just make it a coliseum, basically.
Yeah. And
Metal Mike blamed Gordon for
even during the cup race, like you would think, dude, there's like one concession stand opened in like our entire, like because we were on turns 1 and 2, and like that entire turn on the concourse, there's one concession open.
I wonder if they're short staffed.
I don't know. I mean, they're really.
I think a lot of that's volunteer work. Well, sometimes it's also they'll pay you, but I have heard that some of that stuff's like, community service. I've heard tale of that now. I don't know if that's true, but sometimes.
Well, I know up here in Indianapolis, the different concession stands will have a sign outside of it, and it might say this concession being run by such and such church or Boys and Girls Club or whatever.
Yep.
So,
all right, let's do it. Stop, pause what you're doing, and say hi to Jamie Williams. Hi, Jamie.
Hi, Jamie.
hi, Jamie.
All right, we got to do that every week. We're talking about all the people there, though. This is kind of jumping forward. How about 4.007 million that tuned in for the race? That's not what you wanted to see. If you wanted to get rid of the dirt, that's not what you wanted.
And that's why I'm saying, I'm like, does Bristol say is enough on, hey, yeah, you guys made a whole bunch of money, but we barely sold any tickets? I don't know. Is there a point?
I wonder, do you guys know if, well, you saying that you probably wouldn't. I don't know if our team would. Do they get a cut of like the
I'm sure they get some
affiliate
of the TV
showing up?
ratings. They probably get some of the TV rating money.
Well, the way that the contracts, my understanding is, and you remember back in 2000 when they started the original Fox and TNT and NBC deal, is the tracks got a percentage of the TV money because prior to that, each track negotiated a TV deal with whatever network they wanted to work with. So the tracks do get a cut of the TV money, and that's why I believe during COVID you were able to see tracks be in operation with 0 fans in attendance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess right on track. That's what I was reading before we came on. Adam Stern said that NASCAR says that Saturday's truck race at Bristol Dirt was the most watched truck race at the venue of all time, dating all the way back to the inaugural 1995 race campaign. So that's pretty crazy. I don't see it.
Yeah,
See it.
I don't know. I'm not gonna. I mean, NASCAR. Every single driver. I wouldn't say every single driver, but I'd say 80% of the drivers have all complained about that. Complain about Bristol Dirt in particular, not necessarily dirt, but turning it to Bristol. I think they just need to run a dirt track where the people that work at the dirt track know how to prep and get a dirt track
you got
ready.
Knoxville, you've got Eldora. That's 2 that come straight to mind. You got plenty of tracks, but those are just too big.
You have Springfield and DuQuoin that host ARCA races every year.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's a waste. We all heard what a bunch of the drivers said, and then Harvick, I think his interviews went viral talking about NASCAR being a bunch of bozos, and then
It was funny though.
Yeah,
that was funny though.
He was letting them have it, that's for sure. But I don't understand the whole aspect as to why, they're having to bring all those loads of dirt in. They're paying all those contractors to build the track, blah, blah, blah. It's kind of like the same thing with the Clash, but they've all but said with all these ratings that they'll be back next year. So
yeah, and I mean, I could play conspiracy theorist here and say, is that made up because of how much bad flack NASCAR has gotten from their drivers? And I would say employees of NASCAR probably don't even like it, to be honest.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Drivers didn't.
Well, here's something I want you to think about with that ratings number is this was the first scheduled NASCAR race on Easter in a long time. And with that being said, you have more families typically at home for Easter, or with their families. They might congregate at a cousin's or an aunt or an uncle house or whatever, but could have just been the way everything lined up that, hey, let's turn on the NASCAR race. We're all here. Let's just go ahead and watch it and see what happens type of thing.
Well, I know there was one guy watching it. I won't call any names. He knows who he is. Me and Josh knows who he is, sitting there trying to watch a race that he knows nothing about, saying that it was staged and rigged. You guys, y'all seen it? I sent you the link. So
yeah, I didn't watch it though, but I saw
sorry.
your guys' comments.
What an idiot. But speaking of that, I caught it on my GoPro, and it'll be posted up at some point. Logano came through signing for us, and he said, so what do you guys think about us running on Easter? And I was like, well, I spoke up, and I'm like, I think it shouldn't happen. I think you guys should be at home with your families. And he's like, I totally agree. But what am I to say? So I don't think the drivers liked it. And Roger tried to get Brad to talk about that penalty, and he wouldn't say nothing like negatory about it. He's like, it happens or whatever.
He's an owner now. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and he's probably been told not to say anything bad about it. Honestly. See, Roger said it. Drivers wanted to be home too. We heard that several times. So I don't know. I guess it's here to stay, most likely. Um, I know we're switching things. It never hurts to switch things up. We only got 2 races to talk about. We're starting off tonight with all the news. How about next week having Dale Jr. in the booth? That was
That's
interesting.
yeah, that was kind of a shock,
And I actually
honestly.
read a thing. That's what I was going to write here. It was put on there. It says Fox and NBC both credit their work with the USFL as the reasoning to why Dale Jr. is going to be in the booth next week. Remember, their first league event
Mhm.
was televised both on Fox and NBC, shot at the same vantage point with everything. You could view it on
Oh,
both.
a simulcast.
Yep. So
Okay.
that's a lot of the reason. And I went on to read it. The 2 presidents of each corporation, Fox and NBC, were there while they were calling that game, and they were in talks. And then it kind of worked out that following week.
I
So,
mean, Junior's still the face, like still a face of NASCAR. So I just think being maybe they should just change it, make them be employed by NASCAR who can broadcast on both stations instead
well,
of.
see, they went on to talk about in the article that basically you have your first half with Fox and FS1. You have your second half with NBC and then what was NBC Sports. Now there's rumored that a lot of that's going to be going to Peacock very soon. Matthew Dillner basically told us that. And streaming, but USA also this year. They said it's no difference, and like Octane said, than having WWE that does that, and then the same thing with that USFL. But they said that basically they're not competitors to each other because they're not showing the same
At the
race.
same time.
Exactly.
Right.
So basically they take their portions of the season. So really they're not, hurting each other, so to speak.
And they're promoting the same brand, that brand being NASCAR. And to
Yep.
go on to that, when they announced that on Fox, Josh, I know you were at the track. Twitter just blew up with that. I mean, people were just going crazy, and I was trying to, kind of be a voice of reason, saying, I don't know if you guys remember, but Ned Jarrett used to do races for ESPN and CBS, and those were 2 competing networks. So this is not something new here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and like
I
maybe
guess it's new more to the modern era, so to speak,
Right.
well,
maybe.
it could benefit NBC too because they could try maybe getting Gordon on NBC broadcast or like it. I mean, well, Gordon's not employed by Fox anymore, but um, you know what I'm saying? There would be less of a conflict of interest, I think, if NBC wanted to try getting someone over there.
What's up, Cardboard Crazies? I know you guys may not know who that is. He's local around here. Pretty cool guy. Metal Mike's talking about the Logano promo. I haven't saw that. What's that about?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Maybe I don't know. I have no clue where to even start with that one. Um, but keeping it broadcast, how awesome was it to see Daryl Waltrip back in the booth? And for the one
I
moment,
didn't get to see him.
okay, yes, you didn't get to see it, but I guess I'm talking to Octane and the
Yeah.
viewers. But for 1 second, one split little bit portion, we had Larry Mack, Mike Joy, and Daryl Waltrip. They still had Clint there, but they should have just kicked him out the glass window. It was really cool to hear those 3.
I was going to say, you probably felt like you were 10 years old again, didn't you?
I did. Yep. It was really good. And Daryl, I mean, granted, he's got some age on him now. Uh, it was still nostalgic to just hear him calling the race. I mean, there was a couple pointers. He hasn't been in the sport in a couple years, so the new cars he was obviously fascinated with, from what I could see. Newer drivers have came in. Sometimes he kind of stumbled a little bit, but overall, I think he was really good. How did you take with whatever he done there, Octane?
Well, I thought he definitely added to the broadcast. I've always been an advocate of when they do a broadcast, if you're going to have a three-man booth, you have your lead anchor commentator, then you have a driver and a crew chief, like a Larry Mack, a Jeff Hammond, Andy Petrie, whoever. But with this, it kind of reminded me of when you had Benny, Bob, and Ned in the booth, and you had a generational gap between the two drivers, and there's enough of a difference there that they weren't talking about the same thing.
Yep.
I
because
honestly,
DW could talk about things 30 years ago versus Clint Boyer.
And Clint
Well,
has a
yeah.
more modern take on everything.
Mhm.
right.
And
I
Clint's
can
actually
say this
driven
was,
the next gen car too. So
well, yeah, but still, like I said, it would have been awesome for Clint just to step back and well, he did kind of keep quiet for a little bit, I guess, so to
Yep.
speak.
Yeah, they
But
gave him the Danica mic.
yeah, they did. They did. I would say that this week was some of the best commentating we've seen all year. Now I know Tony Stewart done really good with it, but like I said, it was really nostalgic to see DW make a return. And I like what Roger said. DW still can do it. He really can. And it was awesome to see it. So we need to get going though, I guess, on other subjects. We're 23 minutes in. The truck race. Oh, and a lot of things really quick. I guess we'll knock all the stuff out. Have y'all been seeing a lot of the throwbacks coming in? There's some really good ones this time. Haley Deegan's. I don't know if y'all seen that. I got it pulled up. She's throwing it back to the Bobby Allison days. Look at that. That looks awesome.
she
And
probably
of
doesn't
course,
even
I
know
got to
who
do
he
this.
is.
I like that. I'll admit, it makes me I know I'm not too hip on Gordon as of late, but I really like the Byron. I almost want to buy that one just because that was my heyday with it. What I really enjoyed the most.
Well, technically, it's not a Jeff Gordon diecast, so you wouldn't be going back on your word.
Right.
Well,
Right.
that's like the break last night. Danny tells me, I'm done going after. If I pull him, I pull him and I'll collect it. But I'm done going after. And then I pull a numbered Gordon. He's like, hey, yeah, remember me?
Hey, I got to get a little payback on all that crap that I've pulled for you over these years because I never pull anything. You got to admit, I never pull crap that I need from anything that I do for you. Hardly ever, mate. What, 1 in 10 maybe? But Gordon likely gets a cut. Probably, most likely. I mean,
No, he's not getting a cut. Well, I mean,
who
he worked
knows?
for. He worked for Hendrick, so he
Maybe.
might. I mean, if anyone's getting a cut, it'd be Hendrick
Yeah.
for allowing that scheme to be used, and who knows? I don't know. That's out of our pay rate.
Yeah.
We don't get
Who
paid
knows?
enough
Probably
to
does.
figure that out.
Yeah. Also, I've been in talks with these two guys. Did y'all check out their channel, the Garage Guys? That's what they call themselves.
No, but I saw those guys walking around a whole bunch.
They're really cool and chill guys. I saw them at Martinsville, and then we called them over, and I was like, "Hey, I know y'all are on YouTube, but I don't know the channel. Please forgive me." And then they told me, and I think they gave me. Let's see here. I got it in here somewhere. I think it's right here, actually. Yeah, I got their little card there. So I told them I would be in contacts with them. They said we do the betting side of things, but we're still offer coming on chit chatting a little bit. So I was like, if it was crazy. I was like, I'm on YouTube as well. And then they got to talking about their subscriber count. And then I was like, yeah, I've got 1,800 subscribers. And they was like, holy crap, you got more subscribers than we do. So why wouldn't we collab? Maybe we can get some of our crowd to come over there and you can get some of yours. So maybe we'll have them on. I think I'm going to gun for them to be our first guest. I think that'd be cool. And then we can work from there. I mean, we're still getting started with this. So,
You know who I saw YouTube wise, and I was pretty excited. And he was not expecting someone to yell. He was coming down the ramp.
who was that?
Okay, I'll tell you here in a second.
Oh.
But he was coming down the ramp to get into the pits, and I go, I look because you keep an eye there to see if anybody's coming. I'm like, Danny B, Danny B.
Oh wow, nice.
Wow.
And he's like, oh hey, I'm like, come over here for a second. And he's like, and he walked over. I took a picture with him and was talking for a
Yeah, you
while.
didn't even tell me you saw him. So
Hmm.
now I'm learning that. I noticed he was doing a
Mike
lot of
Helton stopped
interviews.
by too.
Helton,
Hmm.
nice. Yeah, he's always been friendly and willing to stop. So, like I said, we've only got two races to talk about. We're going to use, I guess, this first half hour. So overall, how was your experience down there getting autographs and everything? I want to hear that.
Autographs fine. Saturday. I mean, I'm gonna do a video and talk about my autographs and stuff and a couple stories. But Saturday, I don't know how, but I missed a lot of truck guys. I mean, I saw Haley dip in down the ramp, and
Well, I'm gonna
um,
pause you right there. Hold on. We didn't see him either on Thursday. I mean Friday. So that was
yeah, where
it's
were
the
they
same
going?
deal as the backpedal to Martinsville. What's going on there is what time did they let y'all in? Like 12:30, something like that? 12
Oh,
o'clock.
um, the park was at 12.
See, same thing. I think what's happening, and it happened at Martinsville, it happened there. They are allowing these truck people, those drivers, to be already inside the track. Before you can get up there to try and get them, they're already inside.
I
So
mean,
that's
I
what's going
got
on.
some good ones. I got Zane Smith. I got Matt D. Um,
I'd like to have gotten Smith.
all the Nice guys came out and they handed out cards for those guys.
Nice.
Well, Hostvar came out, but they didn't have cards for him, and I didn't have anything for him. Um, I mean, who else? Trucks. I mean, yeah, a couple of the bigger names. Like you didn't see John Hunter. You didn't see. I saw Chandler Smith, but I wiped him out at Martinsville. I had zero of him. I mean, a lot of those truck guys, anyways, I didn't have much. So I
Right.
had I had hero cards, but it was maybe like onesies and twosies, and I mean, whatever. I mean, I saw more cup guys Saturday than I did truck.
Well, that was
Um,
your main thing because you told me you never met any of them. So
yeah,
I'm glad you
so
got to.
so Saturday were some of the lower names, except like Alex Bowman, friggin' Harvick.
I'm surprised that guy stopped twice, literally in
he
one
didn't he
weekend.
didn't stop, dude. He didn't stop. I was one of two people that got him. He came, he's coming out of the tunnel, and
Right.
he's with Christopher Bell, is like
Oh,
his
I saw
show.
him sitting there.
Yeah, it's like his chauffeur. He's following Bell, and Bell's just splitting the crowd for him. They swing the gate open. Harvick's like flying through there, and one person got him, and I literally, right before he got in the golf cart, I jumped in front of him and basically shoved the hero card at him, and he grabbed it and signed it. Well, I handed him two hero cards, but he only signed the one. Um, But yeah, I was like, I ain't letting this get away. I literally, dude, I literally like stopped him, and like I stopped him, and when he grabbed my card, I moved out of the way, and he signed it while he was walking really fast. And I'm like,
Wow.
and then he sat down in the cart, and I'm like, can I get a picture? And he was ignoring me, so I took him anyways. But
Yeah.
um, but
Wow.
yeah, I was like, dude, I'm not letting that get away. And dude, if I took a die cast or like that authentic or whatever, I wouldn't have had time to get it out. That's how fast it was. Like
Yeah.
I
Well,
had
I was
hard.
devastated because I didn't have nothing for him when he stopped. And I've learned Harvick. Now, I'm glad you got him regardless because you're more of a fan. But he was not signing anything unless you had a 124 scale in your hand. He was not signing cards, hero cards, or 164s. If it wasn't 124, he wasn't touching it when he stopped. I noticed that. So I was like, I'm not even going to worry about it. But I was devastated. I didn't have the truck.
Well, that's why I was like, man, I'm so glad. Like, and it was the Bristol dirt from last year.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that's maybe why he signed it, because that's a little hard, like a different card. It's not like a standard.
Right,
Like
right,
you get it from the merch trailer or something.
right.
So I don't know. I was lucky, and I'm glad that that happened. Um, and then Sunday was a good day. I got there at 1 o'clock. Um, it was me, my dad, and two other people. So I basically had to pick where I wanted to stand. I stood right next to that gate,
Yeah,
and that was a good day. We got some good names like Logano. Well, I got Logano, I think 3 times actually. So I think I got 2 hero cards every single time. Um, but my dad, he's not an autograph guy. I bought him a chair at Walmart for Sunday because I knew I was gonna be there for a while on Sunday.
right,
And we're walking through all the tents, and he collects like jerseys, like he has soccer jerseys from when he went to like Italy and things like that. Like he likes collecting jerseys. He's like,
right.
man, I really like those dry fit like pit crew shirts. So he bought one of those Logano and got Logano on it.
There you
he's
go.
gonna he's gonna frame it and stuff.
There you go.
But
He says
Now,
you're
I did
bragging
want to
about
ask.
all your Logano.
I
Huh?
did want to ask you. I did want to ask you guys about like your experiences when you go to a track. There always seems to be one or two drivers that you'll see 18 times in the course of the day. Like whether it's like Harvick, Logano, or whoever, you'll just see the one driver back and forth 8 or 10 times over the course of 3 or 4 hours, and then every other driver, if you're lucky, you might see them once.
once,
Right. Are you
like
asking us who that was for
well,
each of us?
LaJoy on Sunday
Mhm.
stopped like 7 times.
Yeah.
Well, I
No,
can
I'm
tell you
just
who
I'm just
mine
I'm just saying.
was.
Mhm.
Josh Williams was for me.
I saw him once. But luckily I only had one train card because I wiped him out at Martinsville.
Right. We got to get this in there too. Josh, he wants to know what you want for the 21. He's talking about that chase piece. He said he was going to come on here and ask you.
Oh, we'll figure it out, Roger. I mean, you might as well consider ears. We'll figure something out.
And I definitely need some signed Petties. Well, Petty's got to start making appearances, which I don't see that happening for the foreseeable future. So if you're going to get Petty's autograph, you better do it through the mail, and that's it.
But I'm gonna save my best story from Sunday for when I'm showing my autographs.
All right.
It was a very wholesome family moment for an owner and his 2 grandkids and 2 great-grandkids.
Okay.
And it
I
was
know
really
I know
cool.
where this and I know who this is, obviously, because I saw a picture, but I didn't know there was a story behind it. So I'll look forward to that.
It was really cool.
Well, we're 35 minutes in and we still have yet to talk about this. I mean, it's
Hey,
just a
that's
lot went
fine,
on.
man.
And there's one more thing I do want to talk about. North Wilkesboro is back. So, Riggs, if you're listening, I know that it's only late models, the Hornets and stuff like that, but we got to go. We
Yeah,
got
but
to go at least,
Josh Berry will be there.
most likely.
Yeah. I bet you
Yeah.
any big name late model, new, current or old, will probably try going there.
Yeah.
So there'll probably be some good names there.
Oh my God, I just saw it pop up. Okay. All right, I'm gonna do this just because I don't know how to even do that. It won't let me. Roger, retract that.
I get it.
All right. Let's get into the real topics tonight. We got to talk about this truck race. Ben Rhodes basically owned this race, and so did Josh with the winning pick. Congrats to him. He finally comes back, makes a little deficit on us there.
I almost swept the dang weekend, dude. I
Yeah,
was
you
so
did.
mad. I think I was more mad about that too. I was just everything about.
You were literally fixing to gain 12 points.
I know.
Wow.
Well, I still got 9.
Yeah.
Luckily, he recovered and still was able to take second.
Well, yeah, Logano was right behind you there with Reddick, but I did do pretty good there. Octane, you didn't have such a good weekend there, did you, pal?
No, Stenhouse kind of bombed out on Sunday, and I forget who I had for the truck race.
You had Tanner Gray.
Tanner Gray. He didn't do awful. I mean, he
He
wasn't.
was 15th.
Yeah,
Not bad.
Yeah, those DGR cars didn't look very good.
but
No, they
I think
didn't.
Tanner had to start in the back. I thought so.
So hitting on, I mean, there was quite a bit of stuff that did happen. We know you were in the stands, Josh. Touching on Carson Hocevar, he was fast there at one point.
I thought he was
He
gonna
looked really
pull it
good.
off. Yeah.
I mean, of course, Ben Rhodes came back. I got to ask you though, Matt D and Austin Wayne's self getting
Dude, that
stuck.
was right in front of me.
So how did that transpire from what your viewpoint was?
So seeing it in person, because it's a lot you don't know what's going on because you don't have the broadcasters telling you what's going on. I legit thought they were trying to wreck each other. Like just because it all started like right at me and my dad were standing. There's a bar in Bristol, and there's a big railing you can just stand and watch the race. So we stood there the whole time. Saturday was my pop night. So it all started at like turn one, and I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, why is Austin Wayne trying to wreck Matty D so bad? I'm like, he's all over him. And then they literally stopped right in front of us. I would say 30 seconds after they stopped right in front of us, I took video of the whole thing without stopping the video. It was just a freaking clown show, dude. I don't know how much they showed on TV, but I'm trying to separate those two jerseys.
Well, they showed a little bit, but I couldn't make figure of what they were trying to do with
It
it.
was a clown show. They should have just took two trucks and pulled one from the rear and pulled one from the front and called it a day. But
well, they were saying on the
they were doing some dumb
broadcast, why
stuff.
couldn't he reverse it? Why couldn't Austin Wayne just reverse?
Well, he was overheating.
Oh,
Dude, I don't know if they said that, but his hit the radiator, the spout, he was spitting water everywhere. It was.
Oh wow!
I think he had to he shut it down after a minute or two because I think he'd have blew it up.
Right.
Do you guys feel that Austin Wayne Self is just one of these drivers that if something weird is going to happen on the racetrack, it's going to happen to him? He just seems to be riddled with awkward luck, not bad luck, just awkward luck.
Kind of like Ryan Newman, and I don't know if you guys saw that video of how many cars landed on him in his career.
I didn't see the video, but I remember it.
There's a video showing all of them. Yeah.
And the crazy flips he had too.
In Daytona, yeah.
Yep. So
Roger, come on, man. I'll delete that one too, dude. You need to start watching yourself, sir.
What's that? I didn't see anything.
But did you guys notice the one stat for? Did you guys notice the one stat for Saturday night in 635 truck races that never happened before?
What's that now?
In all previous truck races, something happened Saturday night that never happened in the 635 previous truck races.
What's that?
Every truck finished.
Really?
Oh wow!
There were no DNFs Saturday.
I didn't realize that.
I didn't even notice.
I should have, but I didn't, and I didn't know that stat. I didn't know that had never happened. Obviously,
I think Austin Wayne Self was 6 laps down, and he was the last place truck.
Wow. Well, they had a big wreck there at the end, the big crash. How did that look from your viewpoint? Because I mean, that came to the finish. There, Josh.
It didn't look that bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They made it out to be really huge.
I mean, didn't look bad at all. They all drove.
What is he talking about? One more strike, Roger.
He said something inappropriate. I had to delete it.
What it says? It looks like 2 dogs in heat. Is that it?
Yeah, that's not appropriate.
Oh, yeah, Raj. We're gonna have to put you in jail. Talk about Facebook jail. How about YouTube jail? See that? I didn't see that disappear on mine. It's just showing it here, and I was like, okay, maybe that's what it is. Well, basically, I guess that was in a nutshell. We had Ben Rhodes. What was our top 5 there? Do you have that, or do I need to look at it? You don't
You'll
have it.
you'll have to,
I can pull it up really quick.
He's not home this week, so
because Hocevar was second, I believe.
right. I do
And I
have
think
four.
I think if the last caution doesn't happen, Hocevar wins because he got snookered a little bit on that last restart. But I think if the last caution doesn't come out, Hocevar is your winner.
Well, how about Stuart Friesen? While he's looking at that, he's now third in points. Stuart Friesen. That was one points change. Zane Smith dropped back down to fourth. Ben Rhodes is still leading.
I mean, everybody considers this guy a surprise, but I don't anymore.
Who's that?
You'll know when I say his name. So you got Ben Rhodes, Carson Hocevar, John Hunter Nemechek, Parker Kligerman, fourth, and Christian Eckes. So
Christian Eckes? Or
no, Kligerman.
Parker.
Kligerman. Yeah, he's a really good driver. I mean, he's proven it. He just needs the right equipment. I mean, I think we've said that here. It's been one of the episodes we talked about Parker, I guess. But he's always done good when he's in decent equipment. I mean,
well, he even had a good run with the Gaunt Brothers car at Kansas 2 years ago. Was on the lead lap, I think, for the whole race.
Yep. One other person that changed hands, it looks like Hocevar jumped up 3 spots. The 23 jumped up 2 spots, and then the 75 of Kligerman. It looks like he's running full time, right? Or is that a joint deal? Because it shows him 14th in points now. He moved up.
Now he's just ran that good in the races he's run.
Oh, okay. Well, they got the 75 showing.
Let's say 14. the team, since he's doing good in points, decides that they maybe want to run full time the rest of the year. Would he be eligible?
No,
I don't think so either.
He's missed enough.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you miss a race because of injury, or like last year or a couple years ago with a driver that wasn't of age, if
COVID.
You miss, or COVID
rule too.
Yeah, that's kind of the medical exemption. So there's like the medical exemptions, the age exemptions, and then a few years ago when Kurt Busch was suspended because of that fiasco, but then NASCAR said, "Oh, that was our mistake. You know, you're granted an exemption." So they do have the exemptions, but if a team or a driver just chooses or opts not to attempt a race, then you're just, nope, sorry about your luck.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Well, like I said, congrats to Ben Rhodes, and I guess we'll move right on to the Cup side of things.
Really quick, I don't know why. I mean, Deegan and them seemed excited about top 20, but I mean, isn't she the dirt princess or some crap like that?
Great comment.
I don't know. I'm just saying, man.
That's her nickname, so yeah, you're
right. Come on. She needs just to be aggressive. I just want to see her boot somebody, dude. Just boot them out of the way, even if it's for 20th. I just want to see you put your bumper to somebody.
She won't do it anymore, though. We've said that. I mean, we all know that's how she won a lot of those races in ARCA. So, I mean, or K&N and everything. So, I don't know. All right, moving on to the Cup Series. Larson took stage 1. Who took stage 2? Because they had the rain deal and they never said anything. What happened there?
I think it was Briscoe.
Yeah, it would have been Briscoe because Kyle Busch didn't take the lead until they went green.
Yeah, let's get our thoughts on that. The whole controversy. What a mess.
I think that's why NASCAR didn't call the race. I thought they were going to call it. Just sitting in the stands, the vibe you got, they were going to call the race. But I don't think NASCAR wanted that fiasco happening. So I was like, oh my God. Like, they started the race. It was still like raining pretty decent. And I'm like, wow, I'm surprised they're starting this race. But I feel like they're trying to avoid a fiasco. I'm like, I think they're going to call it green one lap just to get the scoring.
And then basically call the race.
Yeah. But man, they stuck their guns and held on.
Well, you weren't watching the interviews. You had several
they were playing them over the speaker.
They were?
Yeah.
They were, was it Logano or it was, I don't know why Logano was sticking to mind, but it was somebody. They said how's it feel you're going home 12th? He said, no, I'm going home 2nd. Or what are you talking about? Or I'm
Yeah.
going home 5th. No, I'm
Yep.
5th. I'm 5th.
That's when the news broke that like it when they because he was like the second interview or something. That's when everybody found out. No, not until we go green.
Right.
Only in NASCAR do you have a situation or two or three situations that just line up to where it's like, what do we do now? We didn't cover this in the rule book. It was covered, and the announcers did kind of explain it,
Well,
and they were talking
DW, wait
about
a
it.
minute. DW
Mhm.
actually messed up when he
Mhm.
said his say over it. He was confusing the us as viewers.
Mhm.
And then I think Mike Joy came back and corrected him. He didn't want to be
Right.
rude about it, but he did mess it up.
I do think, though, that it was just one of those situations that generally wouldn't have happened, and it just all did happen right at the right time, right place. Everything
Well,
happened, and the NASCAR's caught with, okay, what do we do now because we didn't think this was going to happen.
you would
Right.
think that would have been covered in maybe the drivers' meeting. Like that
Mhm.
seems like a drivers' meeting topic.
Yeah, and
Hey,
like what
if we
Roger
don't go
said,
green after stage 2, you know how the race is usually final. Well, guess what? If you stay out and everybody else pits, you're still stuck in position. Like
The one thing that I didn't like about this is they didn't count the caution laps on the stage breaks. And they do every other race, and they claim it was because of the non-competitive pit stops. Well, that's kind of a double-edged sword. A, why didn't they have competitive pit stops? And B, this also shows, hey, we can freeze the field at every other race, have non-competitive pit stops if they're wanting to reduce the costs and not score the stage break laps, so that way you give the fans the advertised amount of racing.
I think it's a safety issue, if you want my honest opinion, with the if you do live pit stops during the dirt, because even though they don't lay dirt down in the
Mhm.
pits, it's still like covered it's still blanketed in dust and dirt.
Right,
I
right.
just think it's
well, Mike
slippery and
Joy said
dangerous.
it. Mike Joy said that they didn't do the competitive pit stops because the transition from that concrete to that dirt was just too much.
Mhm.
That's exactly
It
what he
was
said.
you literally see a car if they were going fast enough, they would have ramped right over it.
Right. Sorry about that. Um,
But
how's that throat
speaking of
doing there,
competitive,
Josh? Though?
What?
I said, how's that throat doing there, Josh? All that dirt down in there.
It's okay. I mean, if they ran more than 10 laps in a row, like I'm just glad there were that many cautions, to be honest. Um,
Not
and
for us viewers.
and the oh, if I was watching that and on TV, I would have fell asleep. I would have been like, whoa, I would have been really tired.
Right.
But um, after 10 laps, man, it was like freaking, it was it was gross. It was just gross.
Yeah. What were you saying there, Octane? Sorry, we cut you
oh no
off.
no I was just going to say, we were talking about competition pit stops. What were your guys' thoughts on when Cole Custer came in early, then Almirola with the grills packed full of mud, and then NASCAR? Oh well, let's throw a caution so nobody gets a competitive advantage, but we're not going to give Almirola and Cole Custer the spots back for what they're going to give everybody a freebie for.
They
Yeah,
got
that wasn't
completely
right.
screwed.
That was
Hmm.
another one of those let's make a
Yep.
rule up here while we're on our, type situation.
Yep.
And it basically screwed them up. And
Hmm.
if you notice, all those Stewart Haas cars had that
It was
issue other
bad.
than the
Yeah.
14. So,
Well, because
And
he
he
was
had
out front, really
well,
close to the
yeah.
that,
front,
and
wasn't
he had a different grill cover too.
Yeah.
he? Yeah,
Yeah, he did.
those three had like a silver one,
Hmm.
and Briscoe I think was like black or something. I don't know. It was like you saw some of the cars; they had like a big, boxy, huge grill, and then some of the other cars they were more like a little thinner. I don't know what it was. Wasn't by brand either. Like some of the Fords had big, huge ones, and some didn't.
And let's rewind back a week when they black flagged Kyle Busch for a piece of tape on the grill.
Yep. Yep. Really quick before we finish this deal up, we had a couple cars that had issues. The one he had the dirt getting up in the manifold or something there. And then what was the 3? Did he have similar issues? They never really kind
Well,
of came out.
he got in that wreck, I thought, with Kurt or with Kyle or with Kurt, wasn't it? He was in a
No,
wreck,
he
I thought.
stalled out.
Oh, that's right. Well,
Oh
he
yeah, his
caused the
car
wreck. He
completely
caused the
shut.
wreck.
Yeah, his car shut off.
Yeah,
No, I think they said it was dirt.
yeah. How about the beef between the 9 and the 51? Is that the end of that, or what do we
I
see
didn't.
there?
You texted it, and I'm like, I don't even know what's going on. Like,
Yeah,
I have no idea.
so what was the whole deal there, Octane? The
Well,
51, what
I
happened?
guess the 99 and the 9 got together, and the 9 got up into the 51 and spun the 51 out, and they kind of had an incident in the corner. Then on the ensuing caution, Cody Ware comes up and just blasts Chase Elliott in the back end, and then you could see him trying to cut down his tire,
Hmm.
and then that was that. And then
When they
Cody
had the
Ware said
radio
over.
communications, he was
Mhm,
like, "Who's that? Who is that idiot right there?" That's what Chase said.
mhm.
And he's like, "That's the 51, Cody Ware." He says, "I'll beat his A." Blah blah blah. He's like, "Let's don't do that. Let's focus on what we're doing here." So I was like, "Okay," but I know that didn't make you mad there, did it, Octane?
No, I thought it was good. Well, Cody, they had some radio transmission from Cody Ware, and he was like, "Why are these people always running over me? Why are they? I'm standing, and basically his crew backed him up. Good for you for standing your ground." So
And
Yeah,
he
you
was
gotta.
aggressive. He was aggressive little thing in the back. I could tell the entire night. I mean, I didn't know none of that was going on. But he was like taking everybody 3 wide in the middle, like all night in the back. I'm like, man, you're really pushing for that 35th.
It has to suck though. He's spinning your diecast case. I don't know if he's supposed to be messing with that.
hey, hey,
I'm trying to save one or two of them
Leave it
because I can see
alone.
that door swing open, and here we go. Let's play.
No, there's no doors that slides open.
Well,
from
either
the.
way, now you just showed him. Now he knows how to do it.
Yes,
Yeah, it'd be
he's not.
awful saying you might want to look over your shoulder, and there comes one coming out. Bam, hits the
He's not
floor.
tall enough.
Oh, what else did I have wrote down here? Austin Dillon had the issue. Reddick, he had to think in the back of his mind, was his car going to mess up too with Dillon's like that? They talked
Well, yeah,
about
I
that.
think Suarez too.
Yeah, but we got to get to the topic. How about that wild finish? Hey, we got a special guest. There's our first guest. The Red Ranger's on tonight. I like
Dude, that's
that.
what he bought. He got an Amazon gift card from his grandma and grandpa, and that's what he
That
got.
is awesome, dude. My
Dude,
son's got the blue one
yeah,
somewhere
he's been
around.
huge into Power Rangers lately.
That's awesome.
he
So,
put some racing stickers on that helmet.
how many villains have you caught lately there, Red
I don't
Ranger?
know. He's literally doing a leg kick right now. Yep. All right, bud.
All right. The wild inning, though. I got a question for both of you. I guess people in chat too. And I mean, if somebody's watching later on, they want to answer. Do you think Reddick was too nice with how
Yeah.
he handled that?
I think it would have been a little different of a story if he finished back in 24th, 25th with Briscoe.
Really?
Yeah, I think he was a little more nice about it because I mean he still took second.
Right. Right.
I don't think he was too nice about it. I think when he self-admitted that he let Chase catch him, that obviously told you that Reddick wasn't running as fast as he knew he could have. And when
Right.
he did let Chase catch him, he was equally as at fault as Chase was, so he knew that he had to swallow some of that blame.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, you let Chase catch you, but you don't expect you're gonna get a screwed up slide job done against you like that.
Right. Uh, he's childlike, he says, I guess he's talking about Reddick there. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Reddick is a small guy, and
Yeah.
Briscoe's actually a little bigger than normal NASCAR
Yeah,
driver.
Tyler was. I think he was too nice to Chase too, also, but he did finish second. But is that one of those moments where he's never won a race there? Yeah, he's won other races, but never in Cup. But is he like? Did he have nerves? Like was he really nervous going into that final corner? And kind of choked, so to speak. I mean, I know we all know Chase dove really deep.
I'll be honest with you. In my head, I was like, all right, I think Chase is going to try throwing a huge slider. And I knew, they had such a huge lead over third place. I almost, like, in my head, I'm like, I think Reddick should enter third or fourth and just slam on his brakes. Like, I legit thought that in my head. I'm like, I think he should just slam on his brakes because Briscoe is going to try going all in for it, and he'll just whack the wall.
Kind of like Carl Edwards at Kansas years ago.
Yeah. But that thought entered my head.
But then the real thought entered your head when the 18 was crossing the line and you were all excited because your boy won. How about that? He stole the show. And that was funny, a funny interview there. He's like, I'm not even Dale. I'm like Dale Sr. and I ain't even done anything. That was classic. And he was like, put the dirt down, put it down. I can win them all or something. It's kind of funny. Classic Kyle Busch moment for sure. You just never know what that guy's going to say in his interviews. But
and it's ironic. It's ironic to his comment about Bowman a few weeks ago about backing into wins.
Yeah, no kidding. Same thing.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's ironic that Kyle said that a few weeks ago, and here he is being handed a trophy on a platter. So,
and I got to say this because it's backpedaling a little bit into the race. Harvick just can't catch a break there, Josh. Involved in that wreck, the right front was completely torn out. I mean, he was caught up in that LaJoy Gragson wreck. That was pretty bad. And I think they showed a graphic up there on the screen. I don't know if you recall it there, Octane. Can't remember the exact numbers, but how long it's been since he won a stage, and then how long it had been since he, won a race or whatever. It's been a long streak for both of them. I don't know those exact numbers. Maybe he's pulling it up. I don't know what he's doing there. Let's see. We need to get our picks in, though. I guess it's that time. We're almost at 8 o'clock.
Top 5 was Kyle Busch, Tyler Reddick, Logano, Larson, Blaney.
Oh, yeah. You do got that. And looking at the points, Logano moved up 1. Byron dropped down 1. Big mover was Kyle Busch, obviously, with winning. He gained 4 spots. Larson moved up another 4. Amarola dropped 4. Harvick dropped 4. He's back in 13th now. And Christopher Bell gained 4. He's in 15th. Let's see. Nothing really more notable. Briscoe gained 1. Reddick gained 1. But Suarez gained 2. Were you looking that up there, Octane, or
no?
what?
I actually I had a phone call come in.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right, it's pick time. The trucks are taking off now until Darlington, but we're back with Xfinity and Cup this Saturday and Sunday at Talladega. So it's kind of a crapshoot, honestly. We all know this. So you could pick a random guy and he may actually finish well. And then somebody that we don't expect, none of us even get close to the win because we could be involved in the big one. So Josh will get first picks with the Xfinity, and then I'll go second, Octane third, and then Octane gets first pick. I go second, and Josh goes third. I kind of like my second pick. It seems like I'm getting second pick every week on all this, so I'll continue to do that. It kind of helps me. But
the one thing about being second pick, it means you're not winning.
Yeah, that's also true. But I have stole a couple.
Yeah, but unless the person wins, their pick wins, it's only 1 point differential.
Right.
I like my second place little picks there. So, All right, Josh, what do you got for the Xfinity? I'm curious to see what's going down here.
Man, shoot, it's such a crap. Dude, I so want to say Jeffrey Earnhardt so bad just because that's how NASCAR might write it up. But
3, yeah.
And Larry Mack on the pit box.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't do
yeah,
that.
How do we fail to not mention that? I forgot about it.
Yeah.
That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I think that's pretty sweet. Man, can I opt to go last?
No, it's not how this
Um,
game works.
I'll,
All right, we got a
I'll
viewer there. Roger says Almendinger. All right, I wrote that down.
I'll say, crap, I got two names in my head. Jeez.
We're gonna start playing that Jeopardy
Ty
music.
Gibbs. Ty Gibbs. I'll just say Ty Gibbs.
All right, Ty Gibbs. All right, no specific reason, just cause Ty Gibbs. Kind of going back. All right, I've got one. I'm already writing it down over here. I'm going Jeb Burton. Jeb Burton has really done good. He done good both races last year. And he's been one of those quiet guys. He just hasn't, completely pulled it off. He did there. Didn't he win one time?
Yeah, he won last year.
He's the defending champion of this race.
Yeah.
This race. Not necessarily because of that race. I kind of went back, and even in the fall, he was up there in the mix. And we all know it's all a crapshoot anyways, but I'm having a feeling Jeb Burton gets it done again, defending champ there for the spring. All right, Octane, what do you got?
I'm going a little bit of a long shot. The team seems to run good on the speedways, but the name just popped in my head, and I have to go with it, and that's Myatt Snyder.
He was one in my head, and Hemrick.
And Myatt did have that horrible crash on the last lap at Daytona, so I think they're out for redemption.
I had Brandon Jones in my thoughts.
But it's an absolute crapshoot. There is no favorite. There is no rhyme or reason to it. It's just
no one would ever pick Brandon Brown last year.
No. That's kind of like McDowell winning the 500 last year. Would anybody pick that?
Or Cindric winning it this year?
I would have picked. I would have picked McDowell for a top 5 finish because he runs good, but for a win,
no, not far fetched. And really quick, I'm not going to preach this every week leading up, especially when we get going, because I think these people that are going to tune in is going to tune in anyways. But coming week 18, it's going to pay for you guys to be here if you're rewatching this, because you can have a chance at a 2022 hobby box. Not Josh.
Are we gonna let people comment until like say Friday on the video upload?
Well, I
don't know. That's something we all need to discuss.
I had an idea that I wanted to present to you guys about that later. So,
but It seems like the only thing I ever see is Roger Riggs, and by all means, congrats to him. If he's the only one that ever says anything every week, the guy's gonna have points every week, and then these people come in last minute trying to do this crap. He's gonna be running away with the points. So cahoots to Roger for doing that. He always says that, and then Metal Mike says he'll take AJ as well. Moving on to the Cup side of things. Octane's got first picks. Let's see what you got.
Wow, that's going to be difficult. Again, the speedway races, brand new car, really difficult to pick. I'm trying to think just who was in the top 5 at Daytona. I'm going to go with Ryan Blaney. I just think that he's solid on the big tracks, and I think Penske's been consistent this year. They haven't been top of the game, but they've been pretty consistent. So go with Ryan Blaney.
You stole one of my picks there that I had wrote down. That's not a bad pick at all. It's not. It's really not. I've got several names here. Man, you really did take one of my top ones there. Now I know I chose this guy the other week and he won. Y'all know who that is. I've had several wins, but for some reason I'm thinking William Byron again. I don't know why. There's one of those why am I saying it, but we're gonna go Byron. And we all know that every one of our picks could be involved in the big one. But we'll see. He says Joey. All right, I'll write that down.
So who did Octane take again? Oh, Blaney. Okay.
Blaney.
Well, this
all
is
right, who do you got there?
This is the second time we've seen these cars in a track plate You know what I mean? Speedway, super speedway.
Right.
He's falling asleep over there.
No, I'm looking at my phone. And Ford dominated at Daytona.
Yeah.
I'm going Almirola.
Eric Almirola. Okay.
That's not bad.
I think he'll kind of do what all these other drivers have done on their last year and get a win and make everybody wonder why they're leaving.
Let's see. We got Harvick again, Riggs. Saying that. He wants Harvick to win bad, don't he? He's saying that every week. Harvick. So we'll see what happens. It's obviously a crapshoot, both races going into this one. So we'll just have to see the outcome and see. Probably, if I had to guess, maybe one of us comes out on top, maybe, but you just never know. Hopefully that we don't get caught up. That'd be something if we're all basing by like 35th on back.
What are the points now?
The points? Yeah, let's get over there.
I know Chase is still leading Blaney by 3 points.
Oh, he's talking about
our points.
Our points. Okay, yeah.
The important ones.
Important
my
ones.
average dropped this week. I was averaging 8 to 10 every week. You know, I had one bad week where week 4 I got 4 points, and that's what I matched it with, 4 points. So I've still got the lead, obviously, with 54. We all know the breadwinner this week was Josh. He got 9 points, and he was coming off of a slump from week 5. I mean, he got 6 points week 3, 7 points week 4. He had 3 points week 5, but skipping on down, week 7 and 8 was rough because he had 3 points each week. So he got 9 points. He moves up to 36. He's trailing you by 3 now, Octane. You've got 39. And you've been averaging pretty good, but this week was your worst week yet. You only had 2 points. So.
Yeah, it was a rough week.
Yeah, that was a rough week. So I kind of gave a few points off, but if I can keep striving, it'll eventually get to where you guys basically almost have to pick a win if it keeps going. But obviously right now, no. But say we were going into 1 week left, it would almost be you guys better pick the winner type deal. But he says he still has faith in him with his luck. He's got to change. Talking about Harvick there. I've got nerves when Roger brings out his guns. Oh boy. Yeah, I would too. Roger's got some pretty sized weapons down there at the house. I saw him. So I would be nervous too. I wouldn't break in his house, I'll tell you that much. That's all I'm saying. But I guess that's this week's show in a nutshell. Hopefully we'll come back next week and somebody will have done good and everything. One of us has got to get something, whether we get a win or not, we don't know, but hopefully we'll have some good racing action. And we'll be back Monday, as far as I know, recapping Talladega and seeing what the outcome is. I'm going to head off. Thank you guys for watching. As always, thanks to Josh and Octane for continuing to do this here. And I guess that's the show. I'm Danny and Grays with
Cleveland.
And High Octane.
And we'll see you guys next Monday. Take care, guys.
See ya.
See you later.